the Star Wars sequel trilogy. A lot of people hate it. Some people love it. Today we're going to be taking a look at some of the action figures that came out of that trilogy, whether it be Force Awakens and just a couple Last Jedi. I pretty much have no Rise of Skywalker figures. Now, quick disclaimer, these are going to be all 5 point of articulation figures. I didn't think it was fair to rank some of the vintage collection figures with some of the 5 POA figures because the vintage collection figures would just win. So you're not going to be seeing any of the Rise of Skywalker vintage collection figures. It's mainly going to be Last Jedi, Force Awakens, 5 POA figures. Now, let's take a look at the figures. Alright, so number 10 on the list of my favorite Force Awakens and Last Jedi figures is going to be the standard Force Awakens Stormtrooper. Now, this is a very standard 5 POA Stormtrooper. It's got a swivel at the head, swivel at the arms, swivel at the legs, swivel at the... it does not have waist because it's 5 POA. And pretty much the one thing I think that makes this figure pretty cool is I kind of like the gun, you know? It's just a standard 5 POA figure, but I really like how the gun can kind of clip onto their legs. That's just a little, like, small detail, but I think it kind of makes all the difference when it comes to ranking this action figure. So that's why it's going to be number 10. The next figure up on our list is a little bit more obscure one, and I do like this figure because of that, partially. This is Sarko Plank. Now, a lot of figures are going to be on this list because of how unique they are, because most of these figures aren't actually good, but this one is very unique. Taking a look at the head sculpt and everything, I just think there's not really any other figure in the line like it, and I just think some of these cool little details and the unique blaster are pretty cool. This guy's also got a really cool backstory. He actually duels Luke Skywalker in between Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi with an electro staff, so that's pretty cool. You should read that book if you haven't already. That is number 9. Next up on our list is actually a double whammy. It's Captain Ithano and his first mate Quiggle. So these guys, you can see them in The Force Awakens when Finn is trying to escape from Takodana and he needs 2 dudes to give him a ride off-world. These are the 2 dudes he selects. I like these guys because they're just so unique. Starting out with this guy, he's 5 POA, as all of these ones are, but his face sculpt and overall sculpt are just super nice and I really like it. This cloth goods cape is really cool as well, and overall, I just think it's a really cool looking figure. Same with this guy. His face sculpt is super unique, and the fact that his leg is a Starship exhaust pipe, in my opinion, is just really cool. So, these 2 figures are going to be the number 7 spot on our list. Next on the list is definitely one that's here for uniqueness. If you were paying attention pretty closely in the Resistance scenes, you'll have noticed this droid walking around in the background. This droid's name is PZ something something something, I forget the other numbers. PZ for short though. Now this is a super cool figure I think just because of its pure uniqueness. There's no other Star Wars figure out there with this type of neck sculpt and head sculpt. It's essentially a protocol droid body, so nothing unique there. But with this just elongated neck, I think it's just a pretty unique and cool figure overall. Also the blue looks really nice on a protocol droid, and overall it's just a really clean looking figure. This is a great one for a background display with the Resistance or any type of display like that. It just looks really nice. My next favorite Star Wars sequel trilogy action figure, Constable Zuvio. Now, I just think this guy's a really cool figure overall. Being the Kyuzo, he's actually the same species as Embo, so he's got this hat too. This guy's here for his accessories. This is a super cool pike thing, and his backpack's also pretty cool. It's got like a little communicator antenna, and it attaches securely onto his back. This is a nice addition of a background character, and I think for The Force Awakens especially, Hasbro did a really good job of making all the background figures. This guy would look great in a Jakku display. Pretty much it wouldn't look complete without him. That's why he's the number 6 spot on our list. Now we're in the top 5 out of the 10, and these ones are going to be a little more controversial except for number 1. Now, I could have put Leia behind some of the other figures on this list, but I just didn't think it was right to. We had needed an older Leia figure for a long time now. We didn't get one from this time period in Legends, and I think it was just a figure we needed. Overall, I think the execution was okay. They could have done a little bit better with this, with the cloak and everything, but for the figure we got, it's not bad at all, and I like it better than the other figures behind it on this list. After all, it's just my opinion, so she's number 5. Number 4, we have the First Order Flame Trooper. Now, I know I already had another First Order Stormtrooper on this list, and we're actually going to have one more, but I think this Flame Trooper is just super cool with some of the accessories it has. This backpack's really nice, and we haven't really seen a whole lot like it before. It's removable, and it can detach from the flamethrower by this little tube right here. Overall, I think it's a super cool figure, and well deserving of the number 4 spot on our list. And we are in the top 3. Now, these are some of the biggest names in the sequel trilogy, and one of the biggest disappointments, Captain Phasma. While this character itself was a major disappointment, the figure is not bad. I think this one's a little controversial and a little debatable, and now that I'm thinking about it, I think I would put it farther back than I actually did this time. Maybe some of these more background characters I do like a little more, but this is the order I had it in. I put this here for pretty much the same reason as the Stormtrooper. I think the blaster is pretty cool how it mounts on its leg, but it's honestly even more poorly executed. Realistically, now that I'm looking at it again, this figure should not be here, so we're going to do a bit of rearranging on the pedestal. This doesn't look great, and this thing is getting deranked. It's getting demoted like 5 spaces. We'll be right back. Alright, well, now we're in the top 2, and I did rearrange a little bit. As you can see, Phasma got demoted to the 2nd worst spot on our list. Now the next one is another First Order, and so now when I'm looking at this, there's a little too many First Orders here, but I think this is the first one that's actually well deserving of its spot, and that is Kylo Ren. In my opinion, this is just a good Kylo Ren figure, and I think the one that actually has the hood off from Rise of Skywalker, I like that figure quite a bit, but I don't actually own it, so it's not going on the list. And this is a pretty good alternative. As Force Awakens Kylo's come, I think I couldn't have asked for better or worse if I'm looking for 5 POA. So this guy is number 2. And lastly, our number 1 spot. And if you've seen my ranking all the 5 POA figures, you'll know who's here because it's actually the same one as in that video. While most Last Jedi figures weren't great, especially the 5 POA ones, I think this is probably my favorite 5 POA figure in my entire collection, as I stated in that video. I will stand by what I said originally. It is the Last Jedi Luke Skywalker figure. As much as I disliked how they handled Luke's character in The Last Jedi, that doesn't take away from how good this figure is. It's another one we've been waiting for quite a long time, and overall, I think the detail on it for a 5 POA figure is phenomenal. This is a head that I would accept on a vintage collection figure, and a body sculpt as well. With different articulation, I think this would be a phenomenal figure, and I think it already is. This is something I personally have been looking for a while, so when I picked this up, it was a major bonus. Now, like I said, could it be better with articulation? Yes, obviously. However, it's a 5 POA figure, and as 5 POA figures come, I think it's the best out there. So thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate you taking the time to make it all the way to the end. Now, I know I haven't uploaded in the longest I haven't uploaded in a long time. It's been like 2 weeks, I think. And I've had some stuff going on in personal life, some different things going on. Whatever, I'm getting back to normal now, I'm trying to. And so we're going to be seeing some videos kind of more frequently than every 2 weeks. I don't know exactly how frequently yet, but I'm thinking maybe 2, maybe 3 a week, maybe 1 a week, just kind of whatever works out, but definitely more than once a month. So I just want to say thank you guys so much for sticking with me. I really appreciate it. And we're at 230 subs, so you guys did great when we were gone. We got like 10 more subs in like 2 weeks, which obviously isn't as much as we'd get if we were doing videos, but for me not being here at all, I think that's fine. So let's try to get that number up to 300, and yeah, I'll see you guys all next time. Thank you very much. Stay safe. May the Force be with you. Peace.